Hi, everyone. So I'm Eytan, the product manager for ServiceNow ITOM Health Log Analytics. And today I'm joined by two amazing colleagues who've been instrumental in bringing our latest feature to life. So first, we have Doug, one of our product innovation architects who works directly with customers implementing our latest innovations from all of ITOM. And we also have Clay, the product manager for our data integrations, who led the development of the technology behind our OpenTelemetry integration. So thank you both for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Eytan.
Yeah, great to be here and share what we built.
Awesome. So before we dive into the details, let me share why this integration, OpenTelemetry, is so important for our HLA customers. But what we've consistently heard is that optimizing the system and configuring all the parsers really has been a pain point and one that adds complexity and delays our eventual time to value. So with the rise of OpenTelemetry as an industry standard, we saw an opportunity to significantly streamline this process. So, Clay, can you maybe tell us about your team's approach to solving this challenge?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you know, OTel adoption is accelerating across the industry, and it provides this standard format for observability data. That's metrics, logs, and traces. So, rather than asking you, the customer, to transform or modify your data to fit our system, we've built this new ingest integration to make it easy for you to send any data in OpenTelemetry to ITOM, whether that's from your existing agents or APIs. No mid servers needed. So we worked a lot with the HLA team so that once the logs arrive, they're automatically parsed and understood. So that eliminates a lot of the toil and necessary work to create custom parsers. And it also means at the end of the day, it just takes a couple minutes to get started.
Yeah, and this approach fits directly within our HLA strategy to reduce the implementation complexity. And Doug, so from your perspective, working with customers, how significant is this specific change?
This is huge. This is so transformative for our implementations. Previously, I'd spend days helping customers configure parsers for their different systems. With OpenTelemetry and the Smart Parser, we're reducing that to minutes. This means the customers can start getting insights from their logs almost immediately after configuration.
Yeah, and the cool thing is this approach evolves with the OTel standard. So as the spec evolves, we can adopt our logic without requiring you to make changes or deploy new software agents.
Yeah, and then on the HLA side, as the eventual recipients of all this data, just as Doug said, our smart parsing for OpenTelemetry adapts with that as well. So how about we just demo this? Doug, can you kind of walk us through the implementation process?
Yes, let me share my screen here. Okay, so the way this works is we utilize the integrations launchpad inside of Service Operations Workspace. And what I'm going to show you today is we're going to be utilizing the tile called Amazon Data Firehose Midless. Now, today's focus is not on Amazon Data Firehose. However, this tile, when this goes to GA release in August, we will have another tile called OpenTelemetry Midless that will basically be doing the exact same thing. This tile is very, very simple to integrate. So the first thing we do is I can just put in like the name of the integration, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit next. When we go to next, the setup instructions will be a little bit different when this does go GA with OpenTelemetry, but you will be shown explicitly what it is that you need to do. Now, obviously, the instructions will be slightly different. And then if you have some prerequisites that you need to do, such as what we call HLA scaling, it will note that and it will have a link to those instructions for you. We will provide some of those documents as well with this video. And then also, if you test this right now until the GA release, there is a small step of setting up a certificate and a JWT token. But once those are done, then you don't have to do it again. And you can see right here that access token is already filled in. The endpoint for the ITOM gateway is already filled in, and the integration ID. Those particular values are also added to the OpenTelemetry configuration for the collector that is actually sending this data. So I have one that's already set up. I'm just going to cancel out of that. And as you can see right here, there's an installed integration called OTel Firehose. And when I go ahead and click on this, this is what it would look like when it's active. This is a portion of our new screen that data inputs will have. You can see here the streaming status. I love it because it's green check marks and red X's if there's a problem. I at least know where the problem exists. It's also wonderful because from the menu over on the side, you can actually go to the very important parts of HLA if you've done this before. What I'm going to do is walk you through a few of these in order to be able to know what else is part of this. So if we click on data input mapping, this is going to take us directly to the data input mapping inside of HLA. Now, as you can see right here, there are raw input samples coming in. OpenTelemetry has the OTLP format, which is basically a JSON standard for log data. Now, within that, when we send data in, there's many of you, if you've worked with OpenTelemetry before, there's something called a service.name. And that service.name, if it's provided with the data, it will actually it will categorize or create what we call components to break apart that log data so that it's very specific and can be queried very specifically. Now, one of the beautiful parts is down on the bottom here, you see the output of the automatic parser, or the smart parser as we call it. And I will tell you, the first time I ever saw this, I was overjoyed. I've been an observability engineer. I've created OpenTelemetry. All that work comes right out in here. I don't have to define these. The smart parser takes the work for me. And it's absolutely beautiful to be able to see these pieces in here. Now, from this, you'll notice that there's something also. Let me flip back here just to show you how to get to it. There's also something called the source type structure. And that's where a whole other set of beautiful things happen. If we come into the OTel Firehose type, then you'll actually see, again, up here is the auto extraction. So that auto extraction is going to help in bringing out all of these wonderful things down below in the key value mappings. What this does is this not only helps with assigning our very important labels, timestamp, severity, and then there's two other ones. I'll just flip this for a second. There's host and then also another message one. But also a very strong component of this and a time saver is the classifications. So many of these are being marked as automatic root cause so that they can be made part of the logic that the HLA engine does in order to navigate the system. So it's pretty cool. The end result of all this, by the way, is that the logs are brought into the log viewer. And you'll notice right here, I'm using what's called the OTel demo, and it's breaking it apart by those components, just like I said. So you can change this, you can search on it, and you can see those, see those logs right here. And then also, obviously, the purpose of HLA is to create alerts. And so as anomalies are detected in this data, the alerts will be surfaced in the express list. So yeah, it's pretty cool what we have here.
Awesome. So that was a great demonstration, Doug. Thank you so much. And I kind of want to go back to one part that you really highlighted around the automatic root cause classification,
Yes.
where that is a key feature where HLA can look at all these fields in the context of anomalies and summarize them for users as part of the alert to help them explain what is actually going on. So how significant it is that this happens automatically for the customer?
This is really significant, especially with the learning curve, to be able to do this. It's when we deal with HLA, there's a lot of learning about what the different types are and the labels. And so the beautiful part is it is already knowing what elements would be very, very important to classify as properties.
Amazing. So, looking ahead, how does this integration support our broader observability strategy across ITOM for events, logs, metrics, and traces? So, Clay?
Yeah, it's a key part of why we invested in this technology in OpenTelemetry. So there's consistency between all of these different data types in terms of tags and attributes. So as you send in data, we're preserving all of that metadata and those relationships, which means it's a lot easier to make connections between that data and ultimately get more value out of that data within ITOM.
Yeah, and in customer environments, my mind is teeming with use cases, powerful use cases that we can do with them. For instance, if a log line is actually correlated to a trace, meaning that the trace ID has been placed into the log line, a link could be shown in the alert to quickly link back to the trace in the observability tool. That's a really quick action to be able to just be in the alert and see something that you can click on and be able to have it spawn off to the observability tool to view the trace. That's really important. Even if your L1 or L2 people have the opportunity to look at that, and if it helps to reduce your mean time to resolution, that's wonderful. Customers can create cross-domain dashboards. They can perform root cause analysis across different data types. They can set up more precise alerting. This all helps teams to be on the same page with observability data and getting to root cause quickly and easily.
Yeah, and without even talking about all of our agentic approaches within ServiceNow, this clearly demonstrates how investing in open standards creates real rich data for all of our different tools on platform to work with. So, Clay, what's next for the ingest service team?
Yeah, next up is we're continuing to increase support for our public clouds. Azure is the next big one for the fall. And, industry-wide, more and more companies are adopting OpenTelemetry and OpenTelemetry integration support. So we see more and more possibilities for you to get this data into ServiceNow as well.
And from my perspective, working with customers, I love how fast I can get to value. That helps so much to see results very quickly. So if you're using OpenTelemetry or considering it, you'll immediately benefit from these capabilities.
That's just fantastic. So, Doug, Clay, thank you so much. And for everyone watching, we've included links to our documentation and community forums where you can learn a lot more. We'll continue to invest into making HLA the most effective way to gain insights and apply intelligence to your logs to empower your IT operations. So, thanks for watching.